IVM.
Hey guys, even though Elon Musk is trying to turn everyone into robots, you'll be happy to know that very real human beings work at IVM Podcasts, and some of them are even cool. How do I know? Well, listen to their own podcast, IVM Likes, where they recommend what they are listening to, watching, or reading. Catch IVM Likes every Monday on iTunes, Stitcher, or anywhere you listen to podcasts. And may I recommend the IVM Podcasts app.
Hey, welcome to the Geek Fruit Bulletin, where we discuss the happenings in the world of geek this week.
Wow, well done for the first time doing it.
Yeah. Should that have been the title, Geek This Week?
Yeah, probably.
Maybe it is by the time you listen to it. Anyway, this is a quick format little thing where we talk about some interesting, funny happenings.
Or just the news.
Just the general news in Geek This Week.
Yes.
So, Tejas, tell us what you got.
So the big thing that has been on all of our minds is why we haven't been able to watch movies like Pacific Rim Uprising.
In our particular country,
yes. And in India, yes, sure. And also Ready Player One, which they said was going to release last week, but then just didn't. And why it's also been hard to find a screening for Pacific Rim Uprising. It's just not been playing around.
It plays in the oddest places.
And that's because a lot of people... I just read an article by Sahil Bhalla.
That explains what...
Well, it's the closest to an explanation that we have, why are these movies being cancelled. Because some people have been trying to book their tickets and then it suddenly comes up, hey, sorry, the movie was cancelled for a technical issue. So upon further investigation, he basically found out that... there's something called the key delivery message or something like that. Basically, it's a key that unlocks the digital prints that, then allows you to screen the movies in theaters.
It's the password.
It's the password, literally. And for some reason, these guys, in their haste, this is what... I don't blame the theaters because they're 100% supposed to get the KDMs, is what they call them. But for some reason, they just said, okay, cool, we're going to distribute these films. Obviously, we're going to get the KDM. But they just didn't show up. And they obviously, which then begs the question, why did you just book it? And why did you get people to book their tickets without you knowing that's going to happen? But it's the first time this happened, and there's no real reason for it right now, so nobody really knows why they're not delivering these important passwords for us to be able to watch the movies. And the other update that just happened is Warner Brothers, people who kept tweeting to them saying we want to watch Ready Player One in India, all the nerds at least, finally just said that, hey... what do you call it? This is the list of theaters that it's going to come out in, and they're very, very select cinemas. And literally, here are the cinemas that they're coming out in. And this is the tweet that Warner Brothers had. It says, "Hey, Ready Player One in cinemas now. Which ones? In the cinema in Nellore, the cinema in Bengaluru, SPI Escape in Chennai, Vellore, Pondicherry, Warangal, Chennai, Coimbatore. These are the places.
Really odd, right?
Very select cinemas. And why? Why is this... First of all, why only one theater? What is happening in between these deals between PVR and all that stuff?
I think it's... there is a KDM, I assume. How does it turn up? In your email?
I suppose. It's just...
But apparently the dates are set, and I skimmed through the article that refers to this.
Right.
Because, we literally just looked at it before recording this. But it seems like a really flimsy reason for it to just sort of disappear, right?
Yeah.
Especially when it was sort of booked. So maybe it's a chain dispute between your PVR and Warner people.
Yeah, it seems to be actually what they seem to be getting at is that there's a difference of some thought process that's happening between Warner Brothers International and Warner Brothers Asia. So I think that could be one reason.
Maybe that's
so.
I don't know if this is the reason that Ready Player One in particular is so hard to access.
Yeah, it just seems weird, right? It's just a weird
what
thing.
What is the password didn't come, so we are cancelling the movie?
No, they're just not being delivered because there's some hold up. There's some tape that is just holding back the passwords from happening. Something is happening internally, I guess.
Yeah, it seems like such a
that
minor...
Sucks.
It seems like an issue that can easily be fixed, right?
Seems to be a larger issue. It just can't be like some intern forgot to press send, basically. It's, oh shit, it was in my drafts.
Can't be like...
it's in my outbox.
It went to his phone and he had to enter it within 5 minutes.
Yeah, the OTP didn't come.
The OTP didn't come, sir. Hello, your movie's cancelled. So, weird piece of news, but basically it means we'll have to go to Nellore to to watch Ready Player One now.
Yeah, Ready Player One.
Oh no.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. Listen, my girlfriend is from Chennai. I can do these things. It's fine. It's okay.
We are South Indian.
We are South Indian. Wait, why am I saying I'm from Kerala?
How dare you?
All right, cool. Let's go.
Yeah,
What's
isn't it
next?
odd that Warner could get rights for everything except screening in PVR apparently?
How bizarre. All right, cool. Dinkar, what do you got for us?
So it's James Cameron is shooting his mouth off
What
as
is
he
this guy?
always does.
Yeah.
But he says, I would have made a much nastier version of Jurassic Park. So apparently he was in the running, or he wanted to buy the rights for Michael Crichton's book at the same time as Spielberg.
Yeah.
And now he's saying Spielberg beat him to it by a few hours. And then he saw the movie and he thought the movie is fine. And he says, well, maybe I shouldn't have made it because his version would have been nastier, much nastier.
Yeah.
Like aliens with dinosaurs.
Yeah.
Which sounds cool. But then, here's the problem. He says that Spielberg's movie was too kid-friendly, and he says dinosaurs are for 8-year-olds. We can all enjoy it, but kids get dinosaurs and they should not have been excluded from that. So that's why he thinks it was right that they made it. But hey, man, it sounds like you're being a little condescending towards dinosaurs.
Yeah, I know. I love me a good dinosaur movie.
Yeah, like The Good Dinosaur.
Yeah, except I've not seen it. Yeah. But man, just recently...
Did you know the dinosaur talks in that?
What?
Yeah.
Or the Disney movie Dinosaur.
Yes,
which was
where the
actually
dinosaurs don't talk.
No, they do talk. Of course they do.
What, they do?
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
All right. So here's my thought process on this. I agree with James Cameron. I think have you read the book? I've read the book.
Yeah, of course.
Yes, and in that the book is pretty graphic.
It's more violent.
Yeah, it's definitely more violent, and I think he got to it in like the Lost World. When like this guy's character gets ripped into half by the two T-Rexes and stuff. So it's not that.
Lost World was such a surprisingly gory movie.
Yeah, it was
right?
far gorier than the original. But Spielberg does what Spielberg does, man. He just makes it watchable by anybody.
I feel like Jurassic Park might have been where he perfected the
formula.
That system of Spielbergifying it, where like a big summer blockbuster that works for everyone.
E.T.
Yes.
But I think Jurassic Park works for everyone also. It's got action, it's got family values, etc. It's good.
It's got Linux.
It's got Goldblum.
Yeah.
It's got Samuel L. Jackson, of course.
Yeah.
So there you go. I think, So I think, James Cameron would have made it like probably closer to the novel. Have you seen Congo?
Yes. Again, who
Michael
made
Crichton.
Congo?
I'm not sure, but so violent and so dark and gory and stuff, and that's how the movie is. And I think Jurassic Park could have been made that way as well. Yeah.
True, it could have been, and in a lot of ways, it was maybe with The Lost World, that The Lost World was like story-wise a little weaker.
Yeah,
Jurassic World had some like weirdly gory sections.
Jurassic World?
Yeah.
Can't even remember it now.
Dude, do you remember this like giant section in Jurassic World where this PA, the lady who has to babysit the teen and his brother is killed?
Well, how did she die?
There's this like Rube Goldberg sort of chain of dinosaurs where like one dinosaur picks her up, then another dinosaur like pulls that guy down, and then in the end the giant lake dinosaur swallows all of them.
Oh, correct. Yes. The lake dinosaur is like my favorite dinosaur. I think he was great.
Mine is the good dinosaur. But all right. Now, our third piece of news for the week.
This is not even a confirmed thing, but I just thought it would be fun to talk about. Woody Harrelson has...
It's already fun.
Yeah. Woody Harrelson is the news. He basically is is potentially going to be cast as Carnage in the Venom movie.
Wait, potentially going to be cast? Isn't like the Venom movie already
well
pretty
into
much
production?
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't know how it works.
Will it be like a end credit scene? Because I mean, Carnage is essentially like another Venom type only, right?
Venom. He's basically, so the story of Carnage is that, so Venom is the story of revenge, right? Like basically Eddie Brock is this guy who's this loser.
It's Bizarro Spider-Man.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. But so basically Venom the symbiote wants to actually fuse with Spider-Man, but he gets a lesser kind of symbiote. And because of that, it kind of enrages Eddie Brock even more because he hates Peter Parker. So I think that story is classic.
Which is not going to be the theme of this movie.
Having said that, Carnage, because Eddie Brock has a conscience at the end of the day, Carnage becomes like the main villain because that is the symbiote, like it's the residue of the symbiote that joins with Cletus Cassidy, who's a serial killer. So both their mindsets are just to kind of basically
so it's like an
Carnage.
Eviler Venom basically.
Yeah, it's an actual truly evil Venom.
And with Venom he's often he's conflicted.
Yeah,
about
it's a dramatic character.
Yes.
Yeah, and Venom in many cases has been like the hero of many stories, which is what I'm assuming.
And Carnage is like an outright evil version of Venom.
Yeah.
So I can't imagine Woody Harrelson being evil.
What? He can be great. I think it would have been played by a younger guy, maybe like James McAvoy from Split. I don't know if you've seen that movie, but yeah, something wild and crazy. But I'm sure Woody Harrelson can do a great job. He can be crazy.
He's great.
Yeah, he's great.
Like so many things.
Yeah,
and he's just a cool, fun guy. Yeah. And I heard he stopped smoking weed, which sounds unlikely.
I think he's also vegetarian now, and that's how he ended up doing Zombieland. Because like they pitched him the script, he's like, nah. But the director was his friend. He's like, okay, cool. If you become vegetarian, I'll do it. And they did it.
Really?
Yeah.
How odd.
Which is weird because he eats a lot of Twinkies in that movie, and I'm sure there's gelatin in it.
I mean, he still basically seems like a stoner.
Yes.
Is what we're saying.
Right.
All right. That's it from us on this version of the Geek Fruit Bulletin.
Yeah.
Do check out our long form episode this week where we round up the various things that came out in March, including Annihilation, Altered Carbon, and other things that start with an A.
Yes.
I assume.
Right, great.
All right.
And good job making that seem absolutely natural.
It was all planned. I'm reading all of this off of a very long form script.
Cool.
All right. See all you nerds.
As you can see, we have a podcast listener in his natural habitat. Billions of years of evolution have led him to this point. He's on his way to work, and listening to podcasts makes his miserable day better. He will now head to work and use all his knowledge to communicate with other colleagues and possibly future mates. You can find more of his species on ivmpodcasts.com, your one-stop destination where you can check out all the coolest Indian podcasts. Happy listening.